Right, I used to be the kid that would be sitting in science class in high school. The teacher would call my name out, because I'd never put my hand up because I was too shy. The teacher would call my name out and say, Luke, what do you think about this? Or Luke, what's the answer? Or Luke, do you know that? And I'd blush, I'd go really, really red and shy and timid and, I don't know. I'd be like that, bro, absolute bitch. Now, you can probably tell by the way I articulate myself on the camera, by the way that I speak, by the way that I carry myself, that I am not that boy anymore, right? Now, how have I done that? How have I gone from the kid that was literally used to blush and used to go into his little shell and, oh, please, I don't want attention on me, when a girl would hug him or something, he'd get really, really awkward and nervous and insecure, to the man that I am today. Now, there's 3 things I want to talk about in this particular video. I'm not going to make a full guide or nothing like that. These are just, don't want to waste your time, basically. Just bam. 3 things that maybe you haven't considered in order for you to become that socialite that you want to be. That guy that can literally just know anyone, who can get on a level with anybody, meet girls with ease. It's not an anxiety-inducing task for him. It's just second nature. It's normal. It's just who he is, right? Number 1 is your mindset. Don't label yourself as an introvert. Do not label yourself as somebody that is socially anxious. Do not label yourself as somebody that is destined to just be bad with people. Because what you're doing by putting this label on yourself is you are putting yourself in a box. You're categorizing yourself. And when you categorize yourself like that, you can never amount to anything higher than how you see yourself. Self-image is absolutely fundamental. So number 1, do not categorize yourself as an introvert. I see a lot of guys saying in my comments, I'm an introvert. How do I get better with being social? First of all, stop calling yourself an introvert. See yourself instead as the kind of man that can adapt, that can evolve, that can literally be anything that he wants. You can create whoever you want to be. You can literally create your character. Some random fucking stick fell from the tree. You can be whoever you want to be, basically, my point is. So if you're labeling yourself as an introvert, that is who you're destined to be. Because then you're going to constantly be thinking about all the times that you were an introvert, all the things that make you an introvert. Oh, see, I stuttered, so that's why I'm an introvert. Stop focusing on the negatives and flip that. You can be anyone that you want to be. If you want to be a socialite, start visualizing yourself as that man and label yourself as him instead. Label yourself as a guy that can just be social with anybody. Okay? That's number 1, mindset. Number 2 is to delete social media. Now, this is a crutch. This is why we are literally the most socially anxious generation. And it's quite ironic because we're also the most socially connected in terms of social media. We can speak to anybody from Australia to fucking India to Russia. We can literally talk to anyone. The problem with this, however, is it conditions you to be a bit of a fucking weird little incel, right? Sat in the virtual world all day, messaging girls through the virtual world, meeting friends through the virtual world. Everything that you're doing is just online. When was the last time you walked through the park and said hello to somebody that you didn't know, said hello to a stranger, said good morning to a stranger? If that's quite recently, then fair play. I'm proud of you. But most likely it's not, is it? Because what you do and what I used to do, I'm not special. I'm not anything standing out. I used to do the same thing. I used to see a girl in high school, for example, that I thought, oh, she's fucking beautiful, mate. She's gorgeous. She's my high school crush. And instead of just going up to her and speaking to her like a fucking G, instead I'd wait until I get home, I'd load up Facebook and I'd message her on Facebook, or I'd comment on a picture because I was too scared to message her. I'd like the picture, or I'd heart the picture, some bullshit like that, right? Like a pussy, like a bitch. So when you delete social media, and you can't use it in moderation, so stop with the whole, balance, stop with all that bullshit. It's literally designed, meticulously designed, for you to be addicted to it. The longer that you spend on there, giving them your attention, time and energy, the more money that these companies make, okay? So you've got to delete it completely, because in the back of your mind, if you have it on your phone, I'm using it in moderation, I'm using it in balance, at any point you can just whip your phone out and you can socialize through your phone. You can meet girls through Tinder. If you see a gorgeous girl in the gym, you're not going to say to yourself, well, you've got to fucking do it, because otherwise you're going to be lonely forever. You've got no choice. You have to go over there and go and talk to her. Oh, it's fine because I can just go home and go on Tinder tonight. Or I can just message that girl from Instagram like a pussy. It's literally the shy man's fucking perfect model, right? That's what it is. It's where all the little shy little incels go because they can't talk to girls in real life. They'll just go and sit on Instagram. They'll go and just make a Tinder account. It's embarrassing though. You do not need these things. They've been designed to make it so it's, the fear of missing out. If I'm not on there, I'm missing out. I haven't been on there for months. I've lost count. What have I missed out on? My life is 10 times better in every metric. It's not gone down in any aspect of my life. In fact, I've actually become more social being off of social media, because guess what? When I want to go and meet friends, when I want to go and meet girls, when I want to go and just talk to people and be social in terms of my day-to-day life, because that is an intrinsic desire for you. You are a social creature. You have to have social connection. Okay? It's an intrinsic desire. One way or another, you're going to try and find it. Now, this is why social media is so addictive, because it plays on that intrinsic desire as you as a human being, as a creature, to be social. It gives you everything that you want all in one place. It's convenient, it's easy. You got to delete this shit, because then it's not a crutch. I can't rely on Tinder, I can't rely on Instagram, because I don't have it. Completely deleted. I've committed myself to this lifestyle of not using it. There's a value that I've set for myself. I am the kind of man that doesn't use this shit. So guess what I've got to do when I want to meet girls, when I want to meet friends, when I want to meet people in general? I've got to do it through the real world. Therefore, I've got to learn to be socially acceptable. I've got to learn to not be a weirdo, to not be a little incel creep with shit body language and shit body posture. Right? I've got to learn to be socially acceptable, to use my hands when I'm speaking rather than putting them in my pockets and, hiding away in my shell like I used to do. I used to walk around everywhere with my hands in my pockets because I was nervous and I was insecure in myself and the way that I used to walk. You learn how to become the man that you want to be. You learn how to speak fluently and articulately and stop stuttering in conversations when you do not have social media to rely on, okay? You're forcing your confidence and social skills and leadership skills and communication skills and game with women. You're forcing all of these things to go up, to increase, because you have no other option. If you do not go and speak to that girl over there in the gym, guess what? You're not getting a shag. You can't go home and watch fucking Pornhub, because that would make you a bitch, that would make you a loser. And you don't want to be that, do you? So your only option is to go and speak to her. Go and introduce yourself. Go and learn how to talk to people like normal human beings, rather than just being a little freak sitting inside all day on Tinder with his shit posture. You have to then learn to go and introduce yourself like a gentleman, like a proper man, and get a number, hopefully. Okay? So that's number 2. Delete social media. As soon as I did that, my social skills through the fucking roof. It's literally unmatched. It's incomparable to what I used to be. I'm a completely different man. I meet people now that I used to know from high school, and they're still the same person. No disrespect to them. I'm not insulting anybody, but they are still the same person, And I'm this guy, they look at it in awe. I see it in their eyes now. They look at me in awe, that they don't want me to leave their presence when I'm speaking to them. Because I've made myself the kind of, and I know it sounds arrogant, it sounds like I'm bigging myself up, but I've made myself the kind of man that people genuinely want to be around. And you only learn how to do that when you get off the internet, when you learn what people actually respond to in the real world. Anyone, any little fat nerd can sit on the internet and think of a witty, funny reply to text that girl. Can you do it in person when she's looking dead in your eyes? When other people are watching you? Can you do it then? If not, then you're a bitch. It doesn't count. Well done, you met that girl from Tinder. It doesn't count, bruv. It's easy. Anyone can fucking do that, right? I could dominate Tinder right now, but I'm not a bitch. I don't want to do it like that. It's too easy. It doesn't count for anything. Oh, well done. I've shagged 15 girls in a week because, Tinder. Does it count? Can't add any of them to your list, right? So do it through the real world. That brings me on to my last point, which is just open yourself up to being more social. Just everyone that you meet, make any excuse you can to talk to people. You should never ever be in a situation. Obviously, sometimes people don't want to be spoken to, and you'll find that out very quickly when you do speak to them. That's fine. Don't be pushy. Don't be a weirdo. But again, you'll learn this stuff through trial and error, through practice, through putting yourself out of your comfort zone in the real world. You're not going to learn that from sitting on Instagram. Be open to speaking to everybody. There is no excuse for you to feel lonely, for you to feel disconnected from the world, for you to feel like you're missing out if you simply just open your door and go outside your fucking house. There are people everywhere. I don't care where you live. There are people everywhere. I could pull it off in your town. You make the excuse, well, I've only got 10k people in my town. It's all right for you, Luke, because you live in Manchester and it's a busy city. I could pull it off in your town. Why can't you? Speak to people. Say hello. Say good morning. Go and talk to girls. Get used to just speaking. It becomes second nature. It's so easy. I literally talk for a living, right? It's easy for me now because I've practiced it so much. A lot of you guys don't even open your mouth when you step outside. You've got your AirPods in. You're on your fucking phone listening to voice notes or some bullshit. You guys don't interact with other human beings. So make any excuse that you can to just be open to everybody. Don't judge people. Don't think, I won't really want to be friends with that person because they don't live the life that I live. Just speak to everyone. Be a chameleon. Be adaptable. You'll be able to get on a level with the fucking roadmen on the estate and the guy in the gym or the old lady walking the dog. Everybody, that attractive girl in the gym, whatever. Get used to it. Get yourself out there. Push yourself out your comfort zone. That is when you feel true confidence. That is when you feel proud of yourself when you look in the mirror. When you know that you're taking the hard option and you're still succeeding. I get more girls in real life, the way that I do things, my method, which is literally just speaking to people in real life. I get more girls doing it the hard way than you guys do on Tinder. That is embarrassing. Hence why I feel such unshakable confidence. Do you understand? There's the daily plane. With that being said, coaching is down below in the description. Come and talk to me on a personal level and I will save your fucking life. That's a guarantee. Look after yourself, bro. Bow.